Hi, it's Kamon Reynolds. This is the split we just made off of that colony there. We are 6 days from the day that we did the video, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. We're also going to check to see how our new queen's doing. Look at the foraging activity right there. What foraging activity, you may say? Because there is little to none. That's because when you make a split like this in the same yard, all the forager bees go back to that colony. And that one's not really heavily foraging either. There's some activity, but I would bet you in this 4th of July weather, it's just bringing water back in. There might be a tiny bit of stuff, but I seriously doubt it. So that's just one thing you've got to consider when you make your splits. Even if there is a flow going on, even if there was a strong flow going on, that doesn't mean they're going to be bringing in anything right now because they don't have any forager bees. So sometimes feeding a little bit during the time before those nurse bees that we added graduate to foraging age, it can be really helpful to the colony, especially when you have a new queen. A little bit of feed helps them introduce better, and then also helps them get to laying, which is really important. The more that queen lays, the more they like her. The more I like her too. Alright, let's get in here. Alright, now look at that coverage right there. You wouldn't think with that little bit of activity that there would be that many bees in this colony. But there's good frame coverage, and we're going to get to see more of that here in a second. We're also going to show you how we're going to put the patty on here. So on a colony like this, it shouldn't need much smoke because they're nurse bees. Oh, small hive beetle. Oh, not anymore. Somebody needs to invent an app for the phone called Whack-A-Beetle. You know, or maybe an arcade game like when we were kids and you didn't have all this stuff on your phone, and you can have like a little stand, a little mallet, and bing, bing, bing. Alright, so I was born in the 80s, big deal. We were happy. We enjoyed our cassettes. Alright, so this is just a frame of food. But there's halfway decent coverage on that. This is more food frames over here. Again, we kept most of the brood frames, actually kept all the brood frames together. Look at all of these bees. Some of these are young bees are hatching out of these cells right here. This is good coverage. Especially on a young colony, you want a lot of coverage. And there's still a lot of brood to hatch out, so there's a lot of reinforcements on the way. And these reinforcements are so important, not just for coverage, but for foraging down the road. They're also important because these are really important because they're young. Young bees produce a lot of royal jelly and worker jelly, and that's going to help this queen be able to lay and maintain a large amount of brood. Okay, there she is right there. So she still hasn't swollen up that much, but she's probably only been laying a couple days. So there she is in that corner down there. That's why we need a feeder. So the more food that's coming in that these nurse bees are consuming in protein and some sugar syrup coming in, the more they are going to feed the queen and stimulate her to lay. A lot of people think that sugar syrup feed is actually going to just be enough to keep them laying. That is not the case at all. Bees raise brood in accordance to the protein and the quality of protein that's coming in. You could have pollen coming in. Oh, there's a bunch of good eggs down in there. Awesome. But they do it in accordance to the protein that comes into the colony, and that's why if your colony has a lot of honey going through the winter, and it's so crucial that they do, here in Tennessee, our first pollen is maple pollen, and we'll get it sometimes second week of February. And so you get that, you'll start getting henbit and dead nettle and stuff in March, and you're going to get some other varieties of pollens and stuff. But once that pollen starts coming in, those bees start brooding up really hard. As long as they have enough honey or sugar syrup stores through the winter, and they know that they have it, because bees can tell how much food they have in their colony, then they are going to brood without holding back as long as that protein's coming in. But if that protein's gone, you have a very short period of time before they stop brooding altogether if they run out, because there's a certain degree that is stored in the bee's gut, the young bee's gut. And the forager bees, before they get to forager age, right about that time, they actually regurgitate, or maybe not, no, not regurgitate, but they, I need to look that up. I'm not 100% sure how they do. I imagine it's probably like when they create royal jelly, they secrete the protein out of their body and they give it to the younger generation. That protein and those fats are so important, and so they pass it down to the young bees, and if there's excess, then they're in good shape. But when you start running out, then the brooding just goes so bad, and before long you're like, that was such a good queen, why is she laying bad now? And it's because she's probably laying really good, but they're cannibalizing that brood. And this colony right here, it's not going to see good diverse pollens till the end of August. And we're in early part of July. So if we want this colony to fill this box the rest of the way out, and then make another box of bees for us before winter, which, you know, I'm in Tennessee, then we're going to have to feed these gals. And it's not only going to help us make more bees, it's also going to help keep this colony healthy, because bees that are fed and have good nutrition are going to be more resilient to viruses, and bigger colonies have a stronger population, so they're going to be a lot tougher on the small hive beetles and every other predator, yellow jackets and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so this right here is a feeder rim. Now, if you have a flow going on, this is a terrible idea, because they'll build all kinds of comb up in here. This is 1.5 inches tall. The main thing is you just want to make sure that the bees can't get underneath it, some robber bees, but this is going to allow this little patty to be fed on from below and above. So that's going to, and the sides. So it's really going to help them consume this quickly, so we don't have to worry about small hive beetles getting in here and devastating this colony. So I just score it at the bottom, squeeze it out just a little bit, out of the way. And then you just score the sides a little bit, and then score it a little bit up here on top. And now those bees are going to be able to get up there and consume that really quickly. And yeah, there's a few small hive beetles in here, but bees are going to bully them. They're going to consume it quickly. And I think really, as long as you have a good population, we just released another video and we had a huge patty in it, but it was a strong, strong colony. So I know I'm running my mouth again. Thanks everybody for watching our video. I'm pretty excited about this new colony right here. So now we've got that one and that one off of a nuke out of April. So we're going to keep beefing them up and helping them out. We're going to pour, I didn't bring the can over here, but we're going to pour about I don't know, 1/3 of a gallon down into that thing. So there you have it right there, and you can make those feeder rims to help your bees out a little bit, and they're cheap, just as much as scrap wood. Thanks for watching our videos.